Hey, pointers suck. Well, they don't really have to, in all honesty. So we're going to do a quick run through of pointers in Pascal. So here we've got two declarations. One is a generic pointer, the other is just a pointer to an integer. And what we're going to do is talk about the allocation of memory, what they point to, and so on. And let's see where we can go from there, shall we? So, no, we're going to start with so basically when you have just two declarations like this, they're going to basically be pointing, let's say, at something or nothing, but suffice to say is they are, by themselves, are unusable until you actually allocate memory. And depending upon whether or not you are using a generic pointer or, let's say a pointer to a type, there are different functions to be used. And to find out about that, the best place to look would be the Object Pascal Handbook. And we're going to look, we're on about chapter 11 here, about page 161, where, well, in this particular case, he's actually just allocating or making a pointer, having a pointer point to another integer. But what we're going to do here is to allocate some memory. So to do that, let's go over to here, and we're going to go another one here, and just draw. When we use, whoops, that's an error there, but when we use get mem, we can give it a size that we want of the amount of memory we want to allocate. Whereas if we are using the new function, then it knows from the type how much memory is needed. In both cases, that memory is allocated from the heap, and as you would understand, if you do not free that memory once you no longer need it, then you have a memory leak, and we know that a memory leak causes a problem. Now, to use either of these pointers, shall we say, we can either use something like, let's go to here, we can go p pointer here for the regular pointer, or it would be pi pointer to whatever, to the value that is pointed to by at that location. So that sort of, this is basically going to be our usage. And of course, if it were, let's say, a straight pointer, you could cast it to something else. But that is beyond the scope of this particular video. But now that you've got the memory on the heap, and as I said to you before, if we don't free that memory, then we are going to have a problem with the memory leak. So so once we no longer need it, what should we do? We should free that memory, and the two functions we would use there are, so let's just draw another line here to to show you what the, well, let's go. So when you no longer need that one and you no longer want that one, then here you would use dispos, dispose, p, and no, sorry, that will be free mem, and this one here is going to be the dispose. I nearly forgot my Pascal. And that will free that memory. So in essence, what then happens is that the memory here is gone, the memory here is gone, and the memory which was occupied by those variables is now returned to the system. Perhaps after you free your memory, what you might like to think about doing is because at least then if you do assign it to nil, you can at least do a check, or you can use if assigned function to verify whether the memory space is usable or not. So basically, get mem, free mem, and assigning to nil is a way of being able to manage your memory allocations and knowing what the value is after freeing. And if you're using things like free and nil shall, like free and nil will say, then it just means you've got a clean way of dealing with pointers. Now, like I said at the very beginning, you may not have to deal with pointers, you may not ever have to see them, but if you do, at least you have a rough guide of how memory works with pointers in Pascal. So until next time, happy coding and bye, and don't forget to have a look at the Object Pascal book for more information on pointers. And you'll find that, like I said, around about page 162. So have a look at that, and until next time, happy coding and bye for now.